Welcome into another episode of Chic and Ball. I'm your host, ElzdaTruph. Today is a very big show, jam-packed with a lot of highlights and information. We got A'ja Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Alissa, Pili, Rickea Jackson, and we'll talk about the NCAA tournament. I got a cool story about Candace Parker and how she got me into watching women's basketball. Make sure you stay tuned for that. But let's first kick things off by reviewing a beautiful season by the Las Vegas Aces, led by Coach Becky Hammon. And I'm old enough to remember Becky Hammon back with the New York Liberty and San Antonio Silver Stars. Beautiful point guard, 6-time All-Star, one of the best shooters, one of the all-time best free throw shooters the game has ever seen, men or women. I think she understands players, she understands young women and how to win with them. She don't alienate our young players. She's the ultimate players coach. All the players on the roster contribute in some form or fashion. So when they win, everyone is happy. The team finished with a record of 34-6, and this was the first time the WNBA ever played a 40-game season. Back-to-back titles for the Aces, and I've already said they'll win 3 straight. I'm not moving off that. Seeing how they wiped down New York, 4 number 1 overall picks is just too much talent for anyone to compete with. I don't even know how the WNBA allowed this to happen, but it's happening. They have talent from all the top schools: Notre Dame, South Carolina, UConn, Duke, A&M, O State, Tennessee. Then you got gems like Kelsey Plum from Washington. The people in charge of building this roster have done a masterful job. If you look how this team was built inside out, they have A'ja Wilson, who dominates the post. They got 2 amazing guards in Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum. We all know about the point guard and how she do setting the table, and Kelsey Plum, just a scoring bomb waiting to go off. Jackie Young, one of the most efficient players I've ever seen, probably since Maya Moore. Just seemed like she'll never miss a shot. But with that being said, now let's talk about A'ja Wilson. The boot baddie, the Colombian queen, unquestioned best player in the league, and don't debate me on that because you will not win. The unbothered leader of this team, more energy than 2 shots of espresso. I love this woman on and off the court. The ultimate go-to player, dial up her number and she answering on the first ring. Watch this step back on the Fisa Collier. Ugh, sick. Then watch the footwork on BG. That is a spin-off shot off the catch. You can't even do that move on 2K. She scored a WNBA record 53 points against the Atlanta Dream last season, and in that game she only had 16 shots and 1 3-pointer. 20 free throws were made. Ain't nobody touching that record for a long time, I can promise you that. Notice one thing, how she's screaming after damn near every basket. Never heard not one person call her ghetto. So stop picking and choosing who y'all want to hate and let these women be women. Peep the one leg sleeve. She is the one that made the one leg sleeve more famous than Jay-Z in his Yankee hat. Amazing face-up game and goes to both hands, and I swear it's hard to tell which hands is her strong hand because she go to the rim with both and the layup look the same. And a lot of y'all be acting like a left-hand layup is easy. Yeah, it's easy probably for a professional, but I played with a lot of players that it never went to their left hand, especially lefties. You almost never see lefties going to their right, unless it's to come right back to the left. But watch this. Emmanuel Acho, this is the big bad whoop. She doing that thing at a high level and she gonna let you know every time. I'm so sick of these analysts and TV personalities coming on TV talking about women's college basketball and the WNBA when they had years and years to talk about the game and cover the game. But because it got a little bit of popular because of Caitlin Clark, now y'all want to come on TV and try to talk about all these girls that y'all never watch play. I'm so tired of hearing y'all get their names wrong. Like, I know you don't watch the games because why the hell you getting their name wrong? They say their names multiple times a game, so for you to be saying Sabrina Ionescu or something stupid like that, like, come on, bruh. If you're not watching the game, then don't talk about it, please. But let's move on. Now I want to look at some of the best blocks by A'ja and talk about her overall defensive performance. And I'm not here to confuse you with defensive rating or plus minus, all that nerdy analysis. I'm going right to the source. My girl had 15 games with 3 blocks or more, and pay close attention to the highlights. She not picking on those small guards. She blocking players that's her size or much bigger. She gonna take on that challenge head on like a bull. Man, how the hell that get in there? Who cleared that side 2 block? Y'all know that's my favorite. This podcast will have no Satu Sabali slander, ever. But in this game I'm showing y'all against Dallas, she had 6 blocks, which was her season high. And if you didn't know, she's also a best-selling author. If you haven't checked it out, go grab a copy of her book, Dear Black Girls, inspiration to young women all over. But now let's talk about Plum Dawg Millionaire, Kelsey Plum, 2021 Sixth Woman of the Year. This woman is a bucket with a capital B. All she needed was some dogs like Asia and Chelsea Gray around her. This is the cute little Yorkie that got a quiet little bark, but teeth sharp like a shark. She don't smell blood in the water, she's the reason there is blood in the water. And what's funny, I don't think I've ever seen her go to her right hand. She's so skilled and crafty that no matter what, she gonna get to her spot. And a lot of her misses, from what I can see, are always completely on her. She always gets the shot she wants 8 out of 10 times. And the reason she's so good is how efficient she is. And she's not even the most efficient player on the team. This number is incredible. The Las Vegas Aces as a team shot 55% inside the three-point line. And then they shot 37% from 3 as a team. We talked about Jackie Young, but she shot 45% from 3. And that's not even the best part of her game. And look at KP, she just so on target. 91% from the free throw line, which was tied for 3rd in the W. First was Elena Deladine, who shot 93%. Like, what is that? But now I want to talk a little bit about Candace Parker before we get into the NCAA tournament. She is probably the most influential women's basketball player. Before Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, Candace got a lot of men in front of the TV. Cool story. Her brother Anthony Parker played his final 3 seasons in the NBA for my Cleveland Cavaliers. That was LeBron James' first few years in the NBA. They would always talk about Candace Parker on the broadcast and say how she plays like LeBron, and that was in 06-07 when she was winning back-to-back national titles. But of course, I'm a young man, I'm just so into the NBA, but I start checking her out, and honestly, she was one of the best players I ever seen. I thought it was a very good comparison to say that she played like LeBron James. But then I started watching her even more when she went into the WNBA, and her rookie season she won MVP and Rookie of the Year. And that was with Lisa Leslie on her team, with Delisha Milton-Jones on her team, 2 veteran leaders, and get this, she wasn't even picked on the All-Star team that year. How the hell you win MVP and Rookie of the Year but don't go to the All-Star team? I know she was hot about that. And she also led the league in rebounds her rookie year. But that's how I got into women's basketball. From Candace Parker's brother Anthony Parker playing his final 3 years of his career for my Cleveland Cavaliers. They always show highlights of Candace Parker, and I just really liked it, and from then on I started watching women's basketball. Candace Parker was the start for me. But anybody out there that got a story like that where you can tell me specifically what woman got you into watching women's basketball, feel free to share it in the comments, and maybe we'll make a video and share some of those stories. But now we saved the best for last. Let's move on to the NCAA tournament. You'll see highlights from Rickea Jackson and Alissa Pili here, so feel free to tune me out if you want, but I want to talk about the tournament. The tournament was obviously a big success. TV ratings through the roof. All those women performed under a magnified spotlight. They handled themselves with class and maturity, and I think a lot of people got a newfound love and respect for women's basketball. It was a little bittersweet for me not getting to see Cam Brink, Rickea Jackson, Alissa Pili get to the Sweet 16 or even the Elite 8. I think the ratings would have been even more increased had Utah, Tennessee, or Stanford went a little farther. But as far as the other teams, USC gonna be right back here. Real talent coming to help Juju next year. For me, it was sad to see Angel Reese go out like that with an injury. LSU was in complete control of that game versus Iowa until she got hurt. And we all know the players on that team match her energy. So when she wasn't able to give the energy, nobody else on the team gave the energy. Then you got UCLA. What a beautiful basketball team that is. I expect them to be back in the Final Four next year. They were just too young, but they still got Kiki Rice, Lauren Betts, London Jones. They will definitely get a lot better. NC State, they gonna be right back here as well. They got 2 of the best guards in the nation, Isaiah James and Sanaya Rivers. LSU, they probably gonna take a step back. Gonna be interesting to see how Flower J. Johnson and Nisa Morrow perform without Angel Reese's presence. Iowa Hawkeyes, it was a nice run, but I'm sorry, back to the bottom of the division. Superwoman has taken off her cape and moved on. UConn gonna be UConn. They my early pick to win it all next year, because I think what happened to Paige Beckers, she gonna come back with a vengeance. I think South Carolina will miss Cardoso and her height, but one thing I've learned is to never question Dawn Staley. Whatever she do, I gotta ride with it 10 toes. Congrats to the Oregon State Beavers for getting to the Elite Eight, even though what the refs did to Hannah Hidalgo was crazy. Took her out the game and out of her rhythm because of a nose ring that she was wearing all year. Notre Dame, they're gonna be back stronger and better than ever next year, I can promise you that. Iowa State and Audi Crooks and Addie Brown, I really enjoyed watching those two play. I hope you guys enjoyed all the games and highlights we showed you all year. I encourage you to go back and watch them again because some of you just don't enjoy the season. You get so caught up in rooting for teams. But going into the WNBA season, I'm so excited that we now have a real platform for you guys to follow your favorite players and get some real insight on the teams. I'm not into just posting highlights. I want to talk to you guys and talk about the games myself. But as we did for the WNBA, we're going to do some reviews on some of the top NCAA teams while still giving you as many 4-game highlights from the best WNBA players, especially our rookies who just captivated the country. If you would, please like this video and subscribe to the page if you haven't already. Share the video with your friends. I'm ElzdaTruph for PRM. Talk to you on the next one.